We have been lucky enough to have gotten in communication and been able to interview Cimone today. Very, very new to the station. We haven't done a pseudo stereo with her in the past, but she's producing really cool stuff right now, and we want to be able to talk about some of her newest releases and such. Could you give us some background on what started you on this trajectory of becoming a musician? Like, was it a very strong part of your childhood growing up, or did it become like a later in life interest?
Definitely something I grew up around. My dad was a Pakistani and a Sufi artist. And Sufi music is Islamic devotional music. So I I grew up watching him perform, and he used to have all these concerts when I was a kid. And it really, like, music was the first thing I heard when I was came out the womb, I guess. Um, and I was so just fascinated by my dad, and he would, like, every night practice upstairs. He was a musician and an engineer. So after work, after he'd, like, especially on weekends, he would just go to our music room and practice, and I would always come and interrupt and try to sing with him. And when we'd come back from his concerts, we have this staircase where you go up and then there's a platform and you turn, you go all the way up. And that platform was my stage, and I'd make everyone watch me perform. And so my dad saw that passion in me, and the same passion that he had. So he would bring me up on stage with him, and I'd get to perform with him, and put me in music classes and piano classes and all these, like, art classes, um, and would scout for performances for me to participate in, and just opportunities to really nurture this passion. So I grew up doing a lot of talent shows and community performances. So it was music was always there. And on top of that, my parents were just huge lovers of music. So it wasn't just one type of music that was playing in our house. My dad loved Michael Jackson and Stevie Wonder and the Carpenters and Jackson 5, and my mom loved Whitney Houston and ABBA. So we had a very diverse selection of music playing in our house, on top of, semi-classical Indian music and Pakistani music and Sufi music. So yeah, it was a huge part of my childhood and young adulthood. And so I always knew that I wanted to become um, an artist.
Currently, you're based in Canada, but when we first started communicating online, you mentioned spending the last year working alongside UTD students at a studio internship in Dallas. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I got to meet some really cool people. I just interned there for a couple months, and then I started um, writing songs with my friend Panis, at the studio Drive 35 Studios. Um, and that's where we would just do a bunch of songwriting sessions and co-write sessions, and to pitch songs to other artists. So that's kind of where I sort of started playing around with other artists in Dallas. And my plan wasn't actually to move to Dallas until I was close to graduating from Berkeley, and I have family there, so I decided to move back there and just spend time recording my EP and save some money, and then move to LA. So yeah, I was interning, and I at the same time was recording Pink Clouding and all these other songs for my EP.
I just love the imagery. How did you come up with the term pink clouding?
I actually found the term on Urban Dictionary. I was in an office hour with my songwriting teacher, and we were just looking for some song seeds. And she suggested to check Urban Dictionary, and that was the first term that I saw, and it was something I'd never heard of. So I checked it out, and it was defined as pretending everything is okay to everyone when it really isn't. And that's something that spoke to me so deeply, especially at that time. And it's something that I won't claim, is mine. I think that that's a trend that literally the whole world, and especially our generation, kind of follows. Or I think, you know what, it's something that just followed generation by generation. People just don't aren't honest with what they're feeling, and I think that that's a direct um reflection of the social media era that we live in. It's so taboo to be a mess. You need to have everything put together all the time. And if you're struggling, you're labeled a mess. And I think that that is it's unfair, because we as humans are meant to have these really messy emotions. We're meant to feel those. That's what makes us human. And I think that that's something that's so beautiful. And yeah, it at the time I related to it so much. The term pink clouding, it's driven from it originally was a term that related to addiction. So it's the pink clouding is the euphoric phase that addicts experience once, or those who are weaning off of an addiction, they experience this euphoric phase before the withdrawal effects kick in. So I tried to play to that a little bit with almost being addicted to pretending and knowing that you're about to slip, but you choose to relish in that euphoria as long as you can, because you're it's scary having to face those emotions. Fake it till you make it is literally the motto of
A lot
our
of
society
industries.
and industries, yeah. And it's so just unhealthy.
It's like a constant kind of fear in the back of your head that at any point something can go wrong and you can lose everything.
Right. And also at the same time, it's also just, these emotions are scary. They are scary, but it's so much better when you allow yourself to feel them.
Yeah, for sure. And there was a comment on the YouTube video for the audio for pink clouding, and someone mentioned that they said it deserves to be an animatic. If this song was ever in like an animatic, what show maybe would you want to connect it to?
Oh, I'm not sure. What show? Oh man, that's a lot of pressure.
Okay. Yeah, it was a very you had one off the top of your head.
Can I come back to that?
You can come back to that
something
for
that's
sure.
good.
It's very, very personal, creative question.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna come back to that question.
Okay. Yeah, we can let that ruminate. And then there's an additional question to that saying like if pink clouding was like a animated music video, what would you envision as the narrative or the imagery for that?
So I am actually working on a music video for it. It's not animated, but it's definitely, I describe it as this sort of euphoric dystopia, where everything is so glitter and glamour, but so much of it that it looks like it's chaotic. I think if it's animated, lots of pink clouds. There was also a lot of inspiration taken from Euphoria. Euphoria, that's the show. That's the show I would want my song on. But there was a lot of inspiration taken from Euphoria, visually, even the cover. So, and I don't. We definitely played a little bit with that, with the crying glitter look, but it's yeah, just like lots of glitter, lots of chaos, and I like to make sure that everything I do with my art has a purpose. So it's definitely not the kind of music video where it's just me singing at the camera, and I kind of try to create that narrative where in the beginning it's like you're in this really weird, hazy, glittery world, and you're just, living there, and you're surviving there. And as the music video, or as the song progresses, you kind of realize, okay, this is all eating at me, at how unreal all of this is, and how superficial it is. Yeah.
I was trying to like come up with a term like I'm blanking right now, but like almost a burning stardust kind of
Yeah,
melancholic vibes.
absolutely. Yeah. And lots of like muted pinks and pastels, and mixed with like blacks and blues, and yeah.
Thank you for going on that little creative journey with me. Uh,
Absolutely.
Later this year, you're planning to release your first EP, After the Rain. Can you tell us what we should look forward to in that EP? Will it be songs similar to Pink Clouding? Or are you going to be experimenting with different emotions or genres? And also, is that Sparkling Cider song going to show up?
You know about Sparkling Cider, yay. Okay, yeah, Sparkling Cider is a song that I wrote a while ago, and I posted a little clip of it on my Instagram. I've had a lot of people ask me to release that. Unfortunately, it's not on the EP, but I definitely plan to release that as a single sometime after that. But yeah, it's as far as After the Rain goes, definitely very honest. It's a collection of 5 songs, and I really tried to tell a story with that EP. I think a lot of albums, while I think things are changing a little bit now in terms of how honest people are being, a lot of times albums have tended to be just a collection of songs, and not to say that that's bad, but the albums that I always gravitated towards told a story. Like my favorite albums are After the Internet by Childish Gambino, and Bad by Michael Jackson, um, and like Songversation by India.Arie, and they all kind of they tell a narrative, and especially the Gambino album. So I tried to do something similar with that. After the Rain, the reason why I called it that is because it's about what happens after the rain falls, what happens after these after you kind of hit the ground, and the journey of finding yourself afterwards.
Yeah, no, we love it, narrative albums here, even if it's like an obvious narrative or more like stitching together a common theme or feeling
Mhm.
so the listener can take it, to their own extent. When you were in Dallas, what stuck out to you most about the Dallas music scene?
I grew up in an oil province and in an oil city. So there wasn't much opportunity for music, especially um, as an R&B artist, a pop R&B artist. So when I got there, I used to um, my friend who lives there, he had taken me to this I forgot what area it was, but it was somewhere in downtown, and there were just a bunch of rest of like late night restaurants, and at the same time they were all playing jazz concerts, and it was just so cool to see that. It was really um really cool to be around that, and really encouraging, and there's just so much passion. There was this like, I think we went to this restaurant that had all I don't remember the name, but I remember we had fried chicken there, and there was this jazz band playing, and they were amazing, and when I spoke to them afterwards, they were just just so passionate. And even the UTD students that I'd met who were pursuing music and pursuing audio engineering. Yeah, I loved the passion that I saw.
Proud of the DFW music scene. It's a good time.
Mm-hmm.
2021. We can't wait for live concerts and just being able
Yes. Oh
to
my
meet artists like you in
goodness.
person.
Oh, I miss it so much. I also I miss the food in Dallas as well.
Understandable.
Oh my goodness.
Planning, with restrictions loosening, are you planning any maybe potential visits to the DFW area anytime soon? Also, just what's the best way for listeners, viewers to, keep in contact with your updates as an artist?
Yeah, so my Instagram's the best place. You can follow me at I'm Simone, and that's not I am, it's I'm. Um, I usually post everything on there, and I'll be launching my website as well. As soon as the music video releases, which will release in a few weeks, I'll be making the announcement soon. And as far as trips to DFW, I will be making a trip in August. As well to visit my family, but I'm trying to plan some like virtual concerts and stuff, although it is, yeah, difficult with COVID, but yeah, just writing a lot of music still, which is bizarre because I haven't even released my EP yet, but definitely lots of music to come. And yeah, follow me on Instagram. You'll be able to get all the updates on when everything's dropping.
Thank you again so much for talking with us today.
Thank
And we
you.
very excited to listen to that EP in the future. So excited. I'm just
Me too. I am off the rails about this EP, so I'm also very excited. Thank you so much for your time. And it was really fun speaking to you.